Have you ever noticed this strange contradiction? The nicer you are, the more people interrupt you. The more available you become, the easier it is for them to cancel on you. And the harder you try to be liked, the less you're actually respected. No one tells you this growing up. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't lose respect because they are weak. They lose respect because they unknowingly teach others how to treat them. And that lesson is happening every single day, quietly. There is an unwritten law in this world. It's not taught in schools. It's not talked about at family dinners. But it governs almost every human interaction you will ever have. The world treats you according to the standards you set for yourself, not the standards you say you have, not the values written in your bio or posted on social media, but the standards you quietly enforce or fail to enforce when it actually costs you something. Respect is not something people suddenly decide to give you one day. It's not a reward for being good, patient, or endlessly understanding. Respect is a signal. And that signal comes from self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the value of a person is measured by the things they care about. But here's the part most channels don't talk about. If what you care about most is how others feel about you, you slowly disappear in their eyes. Not because you're inferior, but because you've deluded yourself, blending into everyone else's expectations. This video is not about becoming cold, aggressive, or manipulative. It's not about dominating people or playing power games. It's for the kind, capable, self-aware person who is tired of being taken for granted. For the one who keeps giving, adjusting, explaining, and somehow ends up feeling smaller every time. What if the problem isn't that people are disrespectful, but that you're carrying 4 habits that quietly invite disrespect in? Today, we're not adding anything to your personality. We're removing what never belonged there in the first place. And once you remove it, people won't need to be convinced to respect you. They'll feel it. Part 1. Stop reacting. The power of Stoic silence. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people don't lose respect when they're insulted. They lose respect the moment they react. Think about the last time someone spoke to you with sarcasm. Maybe a coworker made a subtle jab in a meeting. Maybe a family member dismissed your opinion with a smirk. What did your body do before your mind even caught up? Did you rush to explain yourself? Did you laugh awkwardly to keep things light? Or did you feel that heat rise in your chest, ready to fire back? Here's the truth no one likes to hear. All of those reactions send the same message: you got to me. Stoicism teaches a brutal but freeing idea. The moment someone can control your emotional reaction, they temporarily control you. Epictetus said it plainly. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Now pause for a second. If someone can hijack your inner state with a sentence, who really has the power in that moment? Stoic silence isn't weakness. It's not avoidance. It's not losing the argument. It's the discipline of refusing to hand over your nervous system to someone else. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think silence means swallowing disrespect. But Stoic silence is active, not passive. Next time someone crosses the line, try this. First, do nothing for 3 seconds. No words, no facial performance, just stillness. That pause alone tells the room you are not impulsive. You are not programmable. Second, look at them directly. Not with anger, not with intimidation, but with calm observation, like you're noticing a fact, not a threat. Third, if words are needed, use one sentence. Short, neutral, clear. That was disrespectful. Or, I noticed you interrupted me. And then, silence again. No explanation, no over-clarifying, no nervous smile to soften it. This creates something powerful, a vacuum. And most people panic in that space. They expected emotion. They expected defense. They didn't expect composure. When you stop reacting emotionally, you stop advertising insecurity. You stop inviting further disrespect. And without raising your voice, without attacking anyone, you quietly change the balance of power. Not by force, by self-control. Part 2. Stop being always available. Why scarcity creates respect? Here's a hard question most people avoid asking themselves. If you disappeared for a day, would anyone really miss your presence? Or would they just replace it with something else? We live in a world where instant replies are praised. Blue check marks, read receipts. The pressure to answer now, show up always, be reachable at all times. And it feels polite, responsible, mature. But there's a hidden cost no one warns you about. When you are always available, your time stops feeling valuable, even to the people that claim to care about you. Think about it. Have you noticed how easily people cancel plans with you at the last minute? How your messages are often answered late, even though you respond within minutes? That's not bad luck. That's conditioning. You taught them without saying a word that your time is flexible, expendable, endlessly adjustable. Seneca warned us about this long before smartphones existed. He said people guard their money fiercely, yet give away their time, the only thing that can never be returned, without a second thought. Scarcity creates value, not because it's manipulative, but because it signals purpose. A person who is building something, a career, a family, a disciplined mind, cannot be constantly available. And here's the part most motivational channels won't say. People don't respect busyness. They respect priority. When you reply instantly to everything, you're silently saying, nothing in my life matters more than this interruption. Stoicism offers a calmer, stronger alternative. Finish what matters first. Then respond. Let a message wait, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. And when someone asks for your time without urgency, say it simply. I'm focused on something important right now. I'll get back to you later. No apology, no explanation spiral. At first, it feels uncomfortable. You might fear being seen as distant or selfish, but something surprising happens. People begin to choose their words more carefully. They become more intentional when they reach out. And when you do show up, your presence suddenly means more. Respect doesn't come from being easy. It comes from being valuable. And value is always protected by boundaries. Part 3. Stop tolerating poor treatment. Why boundaries create respect. Let's be honest about something most people avoid. The reason certain people keep crossing your line is not because they don't see it. It's because nothing happens when they do. Imagine you own a beautiful house. No doors, no locks, no fence. Strangers walk in, sit on your couch, make a mess, and leave. Would you call that kindness? Or would you call it negligence? Yet emotionally, that's exactly how many people live. They stay quiet to keep the peace. They laugh off comments that sting. They tell themselves it's not worth the conflict. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you're teaching someone how to treat you. Stoicism was never about silent suffering. It was about courage paired with justice. And justice includes you. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. He understood something simple and brutal. A kingdom without borders is conquered quickly. Your life works the same way. People will only go as far as your boundaries allow. And a boundary without a consequence is just a suggestion. This is where many well-intentioned people get stuck. They state boundaries, but never enforce them. They say, I don't like that. Then keep showing up anyway. That's not compassion. That's self-betrayal. Stoic boundaries are calm, direct, and immediate. If someone disrespects you, speak up in the moment, not weeks later, not through passive silence. And don't attack. State the line and the cost of crossing it. I value this relationship, but if this continues, I won't stay in these situations. No drama, no threats, just clarity. Yes, your heart will race the first time you do this. That's not danger, that's growth. Here's the part most people fear. Some will walk away, but those people were never respecting you. They were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. The ones who stay, they adjust. Because respect doesn't come from how much you endure, it comes from what you refuse to tolerate. And the moment you stop protecting everyone else's comfort at the expense of your own dignity, your presence changes. Quietly, permanently. I'm here to help with whatever you need. Please feel free to share more details or ask your next question. Part 4. Stop proving yourself, why confidence never explains. Here's one of the most painful paradoxes in human behavior. The harder you try to prove your worth, the less convincing it becomes. Think about it honestly. Have you ever noticed that the people who talk the most about their value are rarely the ones you actually respect? They list achievements, they explain their decisions in detail. They defend themselves before anyone even attacks. And beneath all that effort is a quiet message. Please see me. Please validate me. Stoicism calls this the deepest prison of the soul. Because the act of proving is not strength. It's negotiation. The moment you explain yourself excessively, you place your worth on trial and hand the jury to someone else. Marcus Aurelius wrote something radical for his time. Everything that is beautiful is complete in itself. Praise or blame cannot improve it. A rose doesn't bloom to be admired. The sun doesn't announce that it's shining. They don't prove, they exist. And people feel their presence without being convinced. Here's where many people get trapped. They think confidence means having the perfect argument ready, the perfect explanation, the perfect defense. But real confidence is quieter than that. It's knowing that not everyone deserves access to your reasoning. Not every doubt deserves an answer. Not every raised eyebrow requires clarification. Next time someone questions your decision, try this instead. Smile, pause, and say, I trust my direction. Or simply, time will tell. Then stop. No follow-up, no over-explaining, no emotional cleanup afterward. At first, it feels terrifying, like you're leaving something unfinished. But what you're actually leaving behind is the habit of begging for approval. When you stop explaining, something shifts. People assume depth. They sense foundation. They feel that your value is settled, non-negotiable. The Stoics called this ataraxia, inner stillness that remains untouched by praise or criticism. And once you live from that place, you are no longer managed by opinions. You don't chase respect. You radiate it. Here's the part most people misunderstand about respect. It's not something you build by adding more confidence tricks, more dominance, more personality layers. Real respect comes from removal. Nothing new was added in this journey. You didn't become louder. You didn't become colder. You didn't become someone else. You simply stopped doing 4 things that were quietly betraying you. You stopped reacting emotionally. You stopped being endlessly available. You stopped tolerating poor treatment. And you stopped proving yourself. That's it. Respect was never missing. It was buried under habits formed by fear, people-pleasing, and the need to be liked. Marcus Aurelius once compared personal growth to sculpting. The masterpiece is already inside the marble. The sculptor doesn't add, he removes what doesn't belong. That's what you've just learned to do. When you pause instead of reacting, you reclaim control of your inner world. When you protect your time, you signal purpose. When you enforce boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. When you stop explaining your worth, you step off trial, permanently, and something subtle but powerful happens. People begin to feel a difference around you. They speak more carefully. They hesitate before crossing lines. They sense that your self-respect is not up for negotiation. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. Respect doesn't live in other people's opinions. It lives in what you know about yourself when no one is watching. When you look in the mirror early in the morning, And don't feel the need to apologize for who you are. You don't need to become strong. Strength is already your nature. You just needed to stop burying it. So here's my challenge to you. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose one thing. Let a message wait. Hold silence for 3 seconds. Say no without explaining. Do it today. Feel the discomfort rise. That's not fear, that's growth. And if this message resonated with you, if you're committed to reclaiming your self-respect and building a life of quiet authority, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of modern Stoics here. People who choose dignity over approval, clarity over chaos, and self-mastery over noise. And if you're ready to make it real, leave a comment below with these words: I choose self-respect. Let that be your contract with yourself. We'll be watching your progress.